So 80 years since the hurricane will be tomorrow. And you're 90?
90.
So you were 10 years old.
10, yeah.
During the hurricane.
Yeah.
So you were old enough to remember it quite vividly.
Well, I guess I do. I remember getting in Uncle Gus's car, and they took me out of that school, and then they brought me to my mother's house down the bay. That's where I was. Buddy and me and Marie.
What did you think? What were you thinking? It was just a big storm?
Yeah.
Because you didn't know. You didn't have, the news wasn't saying what it was, right?
No. I left my house when there was mother had kittens. She had little kittens, and they were trying to get inside the house. And then my mother said to me, I don't know, if it doesn't look like the weather's too good. Imagine my mother saying that. The weather doesn't look too good. It's stormy. So she went out to the porch, and she opened the door, and the water rushed right in the house, right in the porch.
Uh-huh.
It rushed in the porch, and my mother quick closed it, and she cut one of the cats. One of the cats snaked in, and that cat stayed in the porch until she was drowned when they took in the
So it didn't make it.
None of them made it, no.
So at what point did you leave the house?
Right when then my mother called my father. And Leo, she says, we got to get out of here. She says, we got to go.
Who came and got you?
Uncle Gus. We got in the car. We only went a short ways. We had to pick up my grandmother. She was in the house by herself. We had to pick her up, and she had a sister that was visiting her.
Gus picked you up, and then you picked up great grandma Pitts.
Pitts and her sister.
And your grandfather was down at the bay.
Yeah, down. No, he
Where
was
was
down
he?
the lake.
Down at the lake.
The lake,
okay.
right.
What was he doing there?
Oh, that's where he used to put his boat.
By that
time,
how bad was the weather?
I bet very bad. Aunt Hattie was that one driving it, her car. Uncle Gus and my father had to get out and push the car up that hill because they couldn't get it stopped.
Right.
The water had come up past the.
No kidding.
Yeah, and then us kids were in the back of the car with a dog. We started up the hill. Uncle Gus said to Aunt Hattie, you drive. And she had to steer the car up the hill to get up there. And in the car was my mother, my grandmother, her sister,
Nancy Poirier,
and Grandpa. There was somebody else in that car, a dog.
Uh-huh.
And my grandma wanted her dog to come.
Uh-huh.
And the dog came. And they headed up and Grandpa and my uncle pushed the car up that hill. And the two of them, one on one side
Grandpa
and one on
Gus.
the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how they got up the hill to the back door.
So there's a newspaper article I have. It's from the Star, and it's in October 1938. And they write an article about thanking all these different people. And it thanks Fred Pitts, which is Uncle Gus, Fred Pitts and Leo Burke for helping save people from their homes.
Yeah.
How did he get involved doing that?
Because the people didn't know where to go.
Mm-hmm.
That when the water was coming in, and they didn't know where to go. So they got in the train. People got in the train and was able to get up a little bit high.
Right.
And all the ones that were left on the beach was the ones that were in the train.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they were in the train cars.
Yeah, the train cars.
So the Sunrise Cabins.
The ones that they rented for
so they come out by train. They go fishing, and then they'd stay in the cabins.
Cabins, yeah.
Okay.
They had a bar room in there. They had.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. They had a bar, and they had. I know who used to be at the bar. He knew us kids. of course, we couldn't drink liquor or anything.
Right.
It was a beer place.
Right.
But anyway, that was a popular place. Oh, my God.
There's also pictures of Buddy walking over the debris as a little kid.
Yeah.
There's a couple real good pictures of him standing next to all the houses.
He was climbing up that area.
He was just climbing around.
Yeah, right.
What about the house that you saw blow into the water? Tell me that.
Just as clear as can be. I was in the house, I was looking at the back, at the water, and I could see it through my mother's bedroom window. And I could see it. And my mother would say, "Oh my God," she says, "this is some storm." She says, "Everything's going up in the air." She says, "This is going to be a bad storm." So anyway, that's when I went in my bedroom and I put all my stuff that I thought was important to me, I put them under my bed.
Mm-hmm.
Put all that stuff under my bed. I remember looking out the window and I saw it tumble right in the water as the wave took it. I remember that disappearing. So anyway, but that did flew right into the water and disappeared. Couldn't find a thing from it. It was a house that Aunt Mary and Uncle Leonard used to rent in the summertime.
Right.
So it was just a summer house.
Right, but it was empty at the time. Good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because a lot of pictures show a lot of wind damage as the water rose.
Yeah.
It took everything.
Yeah.
It blew it all into one section until it couldn't blow into to the corner anymore, and then just piled up.
Yeah. Right. But we were safe up at the manor.
They had it all pretty nice up there.
Well, no, it was closed.
Right, it was closed, but
It was closed for this winter. The mothballs were on all of the beds, the mattresses. They must have just threw them in that room. It's very clear to me, so clear to me as a kid. And everything that I threw under the bed, I lost.
everything.
Everything.
So after the hurricane, you go back to the house. There wasn't much damage to your house, right?
Oh, we were very fortunate.
I mean, it was damaged, water flood damage, but it remained intact.
Yeah.
And I think there's a picture of your grandmother's house, and really the telephone pole landed on it.
That's
but
right.
other than that,
it
was fine.
Uncle Vitus came right down. He came right down and saw everything. That one picture there with all of them there.
Yeah.
Uncle Vitus, all of them were together because they had heard about what damage there was.
Right.
He got it started right after. Let me see now. Let me think. My uncle Melvin, and my father. My father must have mailed the order to
Sears and Roebuck.
And they must have sent it right out because they went right to work on it.
Right.
They went right to work on it, and didn't take long to get it built.
Mm-hmm.
All by hand. They did it.
They dug the foundation by hand.
Yeah.
And then built the house.
Yeah. God. How many years ago?
80 years ago.
80 years ago. My God.
You guys had no warning. Mm-hmm. When did you know it was even a hurricane? When did you find out that it was a hurricane?
We didn't even know what it was. We never knew what the word was.